On Thai PBS World Tonight, over 5,000 victims have filed complaints against the troubled e-commerce business, the Icon Group, with combined losses of over 1.6 billion baht. A well-known meditation center in Chiang Rai investigated for alleged forest encroachment. And 2 Chinese citizens claimed to have been kidnapped. And good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. I'm Nat Bunna.
I'm Frank Kanchi.
And we'll begin the program tonight with, of course, the Icon Group scandal. We've been following this story for about a week now, and you can see that there are more and more people filing complaints against the e-commerce business. But whether you call it a pyramid scheme or a direct marketing business, the victims that have filed complaints about the case have gone beyond borders already. So it's not just in Thailand, but also in other countries as well. So according to Thailand's Central Investigation Bureau, over 5,600 people have filed complaints against the e-commerce business, the Icon Group. And since the first case was filed early in October, over 5,600 people is already a lot, and the combined losses have exceeded 1.6 billion baht. At the same time, the CIB has seized assets totaling about 225 million baht, including 29 cars, plots of land, and 7.5 million baht of cash. Other items that have been seized include luxury watches, branded items, and even 2 firearms as well. So far, the Icon Group CEO and 17 other suspects, including 3 celebrities, have been arrested and detained for allegedly colluding to defraud the public and entering false information onto the computer system. However, the police may consider pressing more charges against the suspects, such as money laundering and forming criminal associations. As for the complaints, like we said earlier, some of the alleged victims of the Icon Group scandal living abroad, both Thai and foreign nationals, have had their representative file complaints with the police seeking the return of their money. Their combined losses are estimated to exceed 20 million baht, and those who have complained reside in many countries around the world, whether it's in China, Hong Kong, Macau, or even Germany and Canada. And most of them are in the business of importing products from Thailand for sale in other countries. Now let's talk about another story, but it's still related to the Icon Group. A 23-year-old man lodged a complaint with the police in Mueang district of Chiang Rai province, claiming that his 56-year-old father had invested about 3.5 million bahts with Icon Group since 2017, but eventually he lost everything, and that has led to the divorce with his mother and committed suicide at a temple later on. The young man told the police that his father initially invested a small amount in the Icon Group since 2017, but the amount he invested increased substantially over time. He also sold the family's 3 cars to invest in the company, resulting in financial problems, and it has led to arguments within the family and has led to a divorce. He also claimed that his father left home to live in a temple in the neighborhood where he took his own life. The young man admitted that he had no idea about his late father's investments because he was still studying at school at the time. But when he recently learned that his father invested in the Icon Group, he started gathering information and evidence in order to file a complaint with the police. But regarding this issue, all police stations across the country have been instructed to accept the complaints from the affected investors, so the young man was able to file the complaint with the local police without having to travel to Bangkok to file the case in person, because all of the police stations across the country have been instructed to accept these cases already.
So this dramatic story actually has given impact to not just in Thailand, into foreign countries too. As what you said, many foreign nationals, they got impacted financially, and of course, the reputational risks for Thailand is on the way too. As in, of course, we see police station and police officers and all those CIB, the organization, already taking charge about this issue. But still, we haven't got any information yet at this point. And as what you said, Nat, 1.6 billion baht. Wow,
Yes.
this is very, very high volume, very,
Yeah.
very high amount there. So how should people deal with it? Of course, you give a very detailed explanation about how people should identify the pyramid scheme here. But this is how people in the pyramid scheme build the dream for you and
Yes.
get you in, and sometimes it's very hard for you to get out.
Right, because when it comes to pyramid schemes like these, the first thing that they would do is that they would show you the end result after joining the business. They will not tell you what's going to happen, whether it's the risks that you might be taking or the downsides. They will only talk about the positive sides of joining such businesses. At first, they will not tell you, or they will not even admit that this is a pyramid scheme, but they would say that it's a successful business that have increased in terms of profit and investment. So that is already enough to attract people into the scheme. Like for the case of the Icon Group, they have used big names in the entertainment industry. So that has actually attracted people into joining the business and invest in the company. But apart from these cases, there has been some sort of speculation because there are stories about a leaked audio clip showing a conversation between the Icon Group CEO and one of the senior politicians, which we don't know who it is at the moment. So there has been this leaked audio clip that has been surfaced on social media, and it has indicated that this politician may have been helping the Icon Group from behind. However, the government said that they are about to set up a panel to investigate these audio clips, and it may take about 30 days to investigate that. So we'll have to wait and see which politician is actually behind all of this. And they've been calling that person the Tewada or some sort of deity, because you don't know who it is and you don't know whether we can actually arrest that person or hold that person accountable or not.
Yeah, especially they use the code. So it's very difficult to explain or interpret who that person is. But the speedy action is what the government should do right now in CIB. So we will see, hopefully, who that person is.
Right, but it looks like the entire country is on alert with the Icon Group scandal, from the government to police officers and all the other related authorities. And following the Icon Group scandal, netizens have been digging up past videos of celebrities endorsing the business, talking about the positives of investing with the company, including a famous monk in Thailand who is widely known as Wachirameti, where a video of him praising the company and the CEO resurfaced online. And with the video already putting the famous monk in hot waters, it seems like he might also be in trouble for another case, which is his meditation center encroaching on national forest reserves in Chiang Rai. So the Forest Department has ordered an investigation into a famous meditation center founded by the highly respected Buddhist monk known as Wachirameti, after it was alleged that the center is encroaching on the Doi Pui National Forest Reserves in Chiang Rai province. The monk made headlines last week when he was featured in a social media video delivering a sermon to staff and investors of the troubled Icon Group, during which he praised the company's CEO as a model of success and hard work. The Forest Department's Director General said that forest officials will inspect the meditation center, which is called Rai Chen Tawan, to investigate the alleged encroachment. He revealed that the Muttiya Lai Foundation and the National Office of Buddhism has sought permission from the Forest Department to use a total of 22 hectares of forest reserves for the meditation center. However, it is alleged that the Rai Tawan Meditation Center has occupied up to 30 hectares. He said that if it is confirmed that the center is encroaching on forest reserves, those responsible could face imprisonment of up to 20 years and or a fine of up to 2 million baht upon conviction. Meanwhile, the Senate Environment Committee chairman, who's a former chief of the Forest Department, questioned why they are using such an extremely large plot of land for a meditation center, adding that such a center should be modest in scale and content. He noted that the Rai Tawan Center is similar to the case of the Big Buddha on Nakun Mountain in Phuket, located in Nakun National Forest Reserve, where construction was undertaken before permission had been granted for the use of the forest reserve land. But based on latest reports, it might take about a couple of days, 3 to 4 days for the investigation to be revealed. So we will eventually find out whether this meditation center is really encroaching on national forest reserves. But we have to say that this meditation center is quite famous, especially among the locals and those who have high faith in Vashiramiti, because he's a very famous monk.
Yeah, but I think it's very, very difficult to deal with this situation, because when scandal linked with Buddhism or the religion in the country, the police officers and the relevant authorities would be careful and prudent to deal with and go with that flow on that case. But I think the most important thing right now is to see the deep root there. What is the real and what is the false there? And then you talk about the encroachment case here. Of course, the meditation center, as what you say, is very famous in Chiang Rai, as worshipper to this famous monk are a lot on the ground. But legitimacy and justice are on the table. So no matter if this, of course, this monk at the end wouldn't really encroach the national forest or national land there, of course, we should give him the innocence. But if not, the authority will take over for that. And
but we might be able to say that because of the Icon Group scandal, all the other controversies have actually been brought up as well. So that's really interesting.
So we will see, of course, 3 to 4 days is what Ned said. If we have any update, we'll give to you. And of course, we give you another crime story on the ground, as 2 Chinese nationals, they say that they had been kidnapped in Bangkok. 2 Chinese nationals filed a complaint with Bangkok Sutisan police Sunday night, claiming that they had been kidnapped by 5 armed men who demanded over 23 million baht in ransom. The 2 men also presented a video clip to the police from a CCTV system at a rented house in Ratchada Soi 24, Hue Kwang district, featuring his 4 alleged captors. A friend of 2 victims told the police that the alleged abduction occurred at about 4 p.m. on Saturday, when 2 Chinese and 3 Burmese nationals came to the rented house, which also an office, and demanded 3.2 million baht in cash from the victims, plus another 600,000 USD dollars to be transferred to a specified bank account. The victims did not have all the money and were forced into a car and driven to Nakhon Nayok province. The victim managed to borrow 270,000 USD dollar from some Chinese friends and had them transfer it to the bank account before they were released from the car on the Nawaming Road in Bangkok. After receiving the complaint, the superintendent of Sutisan police sent officers to the victim's rented house to collect more evidence. An officer was also sent to provide temporary protection for the 2 victims. So, of course, this raises the safety of living in Thailand and the security in the community too. As in, of course, you see, maybe in the weekends during Saturday, Sunday, and these 2 Chinese nationals just got kidnapped.
sounds like a scene in like a movie or
Yeah.
something. And no one ever expected this to happen, especially on a Sunday. Because like on a Sunday, you would always think that you're safe at home, but all of a sudden these armed men just broke into your house just to kidnap you.
Yeah, and Huikwang, of course, is the district where right now many Chinese nationals resided in, as this is the Chinese community that we can see a lot of Chinese billboard there and Chinese signboard there to attract Chinese travelers and also those people living here to go to that area.
Yeah, but I think what we have noticed recently is that there are many cases between Chinese nationals and police officers or even armed men. I think it's getting more often, especially with the increase of Chinese nationals living here in Thailand.
Yeah, and this is very important as, of course, people raise this concern about the security and safety in the community too. So, of course, I understand that Sutisam Police Station already take over the case, and we will see how the update is. Okay, so we turn the page to business. A good news story for Thailand. Of course, Thailand has attracted a big volume of foreign direct investment thanks to Singaporean and Chinese company. The investment with applications rose 42% on a year-on-year basis in the first 9 months of this year. This year's application reached a total of 722.5 billion baht, the highest since 2015. This surge was driven by the significant foreign direct investment into key sectors such as electrical appliances, electronics, and data centers. The number of projects seeking promotion increased by 46%. Secretary General of the BOI stated that the rise reflects growing investor confidence in Thailand's robust digital infrastructure, clean energy resources, and strategic location, making it an attractive hub for advanced technologies, including wafer manufacturing. Foreign direct investment soared by 38% to 546.6 billion baht, with targeted industries making up 68% of the total. The electrical and electronics sector led with 291 projects valued at 183.4 billion baht, followed by the digital sector and automotive parts. And of course, you can see on the screen right now, Singapore was on the top of the chart of the FDI with applications worth 180.8 billion baht, more than twice the 79.7 billion baht seen in the year earlier period, mostly due to large investment in data centers units of Chinese and American companies. As you can see, China ranked second, Hong Kong, following by Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Japan. Key projects included a 13.5 billion baht smart air conditioner facility and a 13.4 billion baht expansion of other plants, reinforcing Thailand's status as a leading automotive hub. And of course, you can see this is a very, very good news for Thailand, as in we've seen the GDP growth there. In comparison to other ASEAN countries, it's not that high, but the foreign direct investment is going to the right direction. But how about this prosperous scenario will continue or not? We have to see the US election because, of course, the trade war and tariff barrier might affect the Thailand's performance in the economy.
And the US elections is actually around the corner because it will be taking place on November 5th. So by that time, when we find out who will be the next US president, we will find out how will this affect the Thai economy and also the trade relations between US and Thailand and also the ASEAN region.
And we'll, of course, keep following this situation on the ground as the scenario. If no matter Kamala Harris or Donald Trump will win the election, we will talk to some economists to analyze how this tariff barrier or tariff policy will affect Thailand.
Right, and we'll end the program on a lighter note. If you're in Thailand this weekend, you may not want to miss this opportunity to witness the royal barge procession along the Chao Phraya River, which is part of the celebrations for His Majesty the King. The full and final dress rehearsal for the royal barge procession along the Chao Phraya River will be performed this Tuesday ahead of the actual procession on Sunday. And we will be telling you which places would be the ideal viewing locations of the royal barge procession. So the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration says that the public can watch the rehearsal from 5 ideal viewing locations, and there are up to 5 of them, which is the Rama 8th Bridge on the Thonburi side, Santi Chai Prakan Park. There's also Thammasat University, the Thap Prajan campus, also the 72nd Anniversary Park, Sirat Hospital, and if not, you can actually witness this along the Riverside Walkway. So these are the 5 or 6 ideal viewing locations for the Royal Barge Procession. So the rehearsal will be taking place tomorrow, and the actual procession will take place this Sunday. So the Royal Barge Procession on October 27th is part of the celebrations for His Majesty King Maha Vajiralongkorn's 72nd birthday this year, which was on July 28th. And on Sunday, their Majesties, the King and the Queen, will take the royal barge to present the Katin robes to Buddhist monks at Wat Arun in Bangkok. And this procession will be the second in the present reign. The first took place on December 12, 2019, in honor of the coronation of His Majesty the King. And to give you a bit of a background of the importance of the royal barge procession, this procession has been a regular and important event for kings of Siam since the Ayutthaya period and has continued during the Chakri dynasty, which is up until the present. This floating ceremonial procession is a rare opportunity, and this is reserved for only special occasions. And both songs will also be chanted during the procession, and this time there will be up to 5 verses or chapters. And the flotilla will comprise 52 barges, including 4 major royal barges, namely the Supanahong, the Narai Song Suban, the Ananta Nakarad, and the Anek Chapuchong. There will be 2,200 oarsmen powering these vessels along the Chao Phraya River from the Wasukri Pier to Wat Arun in Bangkok in a 1.2 kilometer long and 90-meter wide formation. So this is definitely a spectacle that you cannot miss for sure, because like we said, this is not something that you would get to witness very often, because it's often reserved for very special occasions to celebrate His Majesty the King. So this royal barge procession has a lot of historical significance, and it's definitely a precious cultural heritage for Thailand.
And as what you see on the screen right now, the rehearsal clip here is already magnificent and spectacle for you to see. And of course, I think one time I crossed through from the Wat Arun to another side of the riverside. I saw them actually rehearsal. Maybe sometimes they always went out to rehearsal, and this time, if you have the chance, please go to the riverside. If you don't take the seat, go to the riverside walk, and you can see them on Sunday.
Yes, and you can see there are many oarsmen taking part in this royal barge procession. So this is something that you cannot miss for sure. Either this Tuesday for the dress rehearsal or the full procession this Sunday. I'm pretty sure that no one is going to miss this opportunity, because you don't get to see that very often. And if you cannot make it, if you cannot watch this procession in person, I believe that there will be live streams that you can watch on TV and on social media as well.
But it's better to go then, if you have the chance. If you have time, please go to the riverside, no matter at Icon Siam or the riverside on Chao Phraya River, and you can see that.
Yes, and that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ